Hello, friends. We all know that it's extremely difficult for a wounded animal to survive in the wild, since animals in nature are guided solely by their instincts. But it's one thing when an animal gets injured on its own, and it's something completely different when the injury is caused by humans. The unfortunate animal featured in this video had to face human cruelty, which, under certain conditions, could have led to a tragedy. This incident happened near a wild river. On a warm June morning, two village residents decided to go fishing, hoping to treat their families with fish for dinner. The weather was fine, and the men first fished from the shore and then went into the water to make long casts when the fish moved further away from the shore. The fish didn't bite, and the fishermen knew that they'd get some grief at home for such a meager catch. All the men had in their nets were a couple of graylings, and so both men were in a very bad mood. Suddenly, the fishermen heard a muffled grunt behind them. Turning around, they saw a bear standing at the shore. The clumsy animal was very thin, and its rib cage was even visible through the skin. The brown predator didn't take its eyes off the strangers, who stood in the water, not knowing what to do next. The situation didn't seem all that good for the fishermen. Ahead of them was a wild river with a strong current, and behind them stood a bear, with hunger and despair clearly seen in its eyes. Realizing that their encounter had little chance of ending well for them, the fishermen looked at each other and decided to split up and go in different directions. They understood that this was the only way for them to at least get the slightest chance of surviving, since the predator wouldn't be able to chase after both of them at the same time. The bear stood still, shaking its head from side to side, as if to show its condemnation. Trying not to make any sudden movements, the fishermen began to implement their desperate plan. The bear, which had been passively watching what was happening all the time, suddenly took a couple of steps towards the shore, and the men saw something that they hadn't noticed before. As the bear started walking, it turned out that it was limping. Its hind leg was clearly hurt. Apparently, it was this injury that caused its miserable appearance. Deprived of the ability to hunt, the bear was starving. The fishermen didn't know that the bear got its injury when it was still a little cub, when poachers, having killed its mother, set the dogs on it. The only thing that saved the cub from certain death was that it managed to hide inside the trunk of a fallen tree. However, the bear has been limping ever since then. The animal fed mainly on berries, insect larvae, and succulent forest roots. When the predator grew up, it began to require much more food. So the unfortunate animal was forced to starve, eating carrion and scraps of someone else's prey. And now, the bear didn't come out to the river to attack the fishermen. It was probably just hoping that they would share their catch. Realizing that the limping animal couldn't pose much of a threat to them, the fishermen quietly took the fish from their nets and threw it towards the bear, giving all of their catch to the injured animal. The fishermen realized that a couple of graylings would hardly be enough to feed their families, but they could help the starving animal. Having eaten the fish, the brown predator went back into the forest, waddling from side to side on its way. The two fishermen, who were getting ready to die just a half an hour ago, now felt sorry for the limping animal, doomed to live a sad and hungry life. Of course, the fishermen could have left right away, leaving the bear to starve to death. Many people may say that it would be the right thing to do, because nature is ruled by the survival of the fittest principle. But don't forget that by showing mercy towards animals, we all become a little better and simply confirm that we too are a part of nature, which gave us the right to exist many millions of years ago. Friends, what do you think about this story? Did the fishermen do the right thing? Or should only the strongest survive in the wild? Share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.